Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Snetterton Farm. This is our episode number 8, which is taking place on the 10th game day of spring. Basically, we took just a few minute break between episode number 7 and episode number 8, and we're still doing this work on the Saturday of the long Labor Day weekend. Now, just bringing up the forecast there, we're doing things a little unconventional, I think. Um, we're basically going to collect grass as we cut it, and the reason why we're going to do that is because I guess a part of me really wants to mow today, but the other issue is that it could also begin raining at any moment because we've got rain in the forecast, and we certainly do not want to take the chance of we don't want to take the chance of there being any problems in getting this grass picked up. So we're basically just gonna I think do it like this maybe, and see how this works out for us. All right, and we're off. And again, I'm not expecting to get a whole lot of grass off this field. I know it is kind of early. The grass is showing as harvestable, and obviously we are collecting up some of the grass into our forage wagon, but again, I know that our yields are not going to be super great on this, so we're just this is just something else to do, just something that is a little bit different that we can basically do here on our map for fun. Oop, wrong button. I want to lift, that's what I want to do. So put back down. So anyway, hopefully you all are having a wonderful day wherever you may happen to be and live. And I certainly am. It's been a wonderful start to a long weekend, and I just went upstairs between episodes 7 and 8 because I heard my wife walking around upstairs. That's kind of the advantage of sort of having my office down below the kitchen area, as I can hear when she wakes up. And so went upstairs to kind of find out what she had in mind that she wanted to do today. And we basically are going to continue some of our projects that we have been working on that we've kind of had to put on hold just a little bit because she hasn't been feeling that well coming off her surgery and everything a few weeks ago. But she is doing remarkably well. And she had another follow-up appointment at the ENT just this week. I think it was on Wednesday. And she's healing quite nicely. And basically the ENT had more or less said, I want to see you in about 2 weeks. And so that's the first time that we've basically gone to a 2-week schedule versus a weekly schedule with visiting the ENT. So that's a good sign that things are moving in the correct direction, moving the needles in the right direction. And so she's healing quite nicely, and she's also feeling much better. So that's obviously double points there. And so we're going to kind of continue some of our home improvement honeydew projects, I suppose, as you might call it. And so since it is a long weekend, and what that really equals, or what that really sort of means in relation to me, is that I have an extra day to sort of recover from the work, and I'm going to resume hanging crown molding. Now, I might have talked about that several months ago, maybe, that I had started hanging some crown molding in our house, in our family room, in the kitchen, down the hallway. And so we had got the family room completed, and that means cut, hung, caulked, sanded, painted, all that good stuff, and got the kitchen done as well. And now I'm going to resume kind of where I left off, and that is going to be in the down the hallway. We've got a relatively long hallway, about maybe 30 feet or so. So we've got crown molding going down both directions of that we're basically going to do. So I'm going to do that today, and do that. Actually, it's about almost 9 o'clock in the morning here on Saturday, and I'm going to get started on that after I get done with this video. So basically about 9:30 or so I should get started cutting that crown molding and getting that put up there. And So it's kind of a tag team effort, to be honest. She is she is kind of the more decorative inclined person. I think that's just maybe the female trait, and that's sort of her claim to fame, is that she's really good at doing the painting, especially the detail type painting and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and haul this down to let's go ahead and dump this into our silage maker, I suppose. So we'll go ahead and fold our Big M up and proceed and dump this over at the cow shed. So anyway, what I was saying was that she's more into the detail stuff, so she really does well at doing the touch-up, the trim, painting the trim and stuff like that. I'm more kind of a give me a roller and let me go to town doing the roller type work on walls and stuff like that, and she kind of gets up there with her small brushes and does the more fine detail work on the mowing and stuff like that. So it is a tag team sort of family effort. All right, so we'll dump our load of grass here in our silage silos. It's wonderful to have these on this map. Stevie, I think the first time I saw this type of a silage silo mechanism was on Pine Cove Farm, maybe. And it was certainly a welcome site to have that, because before we would do traditional silage bunkers. But he put that silage silo in there, and I did some research because, you know me, I like to, if at all possible, I like to try to play as realistic as possible. So I did some research and found out that those are quite popular. There's a number of them here in the US. I checked out a farm on the internet, I think in Ohio maybe it was, or Iowa, one of the two, and they were using those types of silage silos, and there is some advantage to them in the sense that let's go ahead and unfold our Big M again. There is some advantage to them in the sense that there's less waste when it comes to that process, just simply because hang on, I need to switch over to the Big M, fire them up, drop it down, and we'll come around and pick up where we left off. But there is some advantage to a silo system to fermenting silage, simply because you have less waste. It's typically it's dry, it's out of the weather, it's also protected from critters and stuff like that a little bit easier, and it's sort of a natural process in the sense that, you know, gravity helps to compact it and everything down. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours driving tractors backwards and forwards and all that kind of stuff. So here on our farm today, we've got Billy Bob that is spraying our other grass meadow on the other side of the farm, or the other side of the map. So he is busy doing that, and hopefully we are not picking up any straw or not picking up any grass. And why is that? Maybe because our pickup is not lowered. That'll do it every time, folks. Lower the pickup if you want it to pick anything up. That's kind of the code word there, is pickup, right? So let's kind of go back over where we had already been, because we want to get that grass picked up. Because again, my concern is that it may start raining. And if it does start raining, then any grass that we have that has not been picked up, we're possibly going to lose. And I really wanted to mow today. Again, I know that we're not going to get a huge amount of yield off this, but it will give us some grass. It'll give us an early opportunity to get grass in our silo, or even in storage silo. If we were just going to store grass for grass reasons, we would obviously have that opportunity to do that. And then most likely what we will do is I will wait a couple of days and then maybe consider mowing down on that grass field down below, down in the southern portion of the map. There's another field down there that we own that is planted in grass, And I may do that and go ahead and plan on tethering that grass and getting that set up for hay. Probably would have been a better idea to have actually tethered this field here, since it is a little bit closer to the farm, but that's okay. So I don't know if we will do any baling on this map. We may not. It just kind of depends on some factors, I suppose. Whenever we get around to that that time frame, we don't have to bale anything. We have the ability to store all bulk products with our silage silo systems and stuff like that. So we may actually just take advantage of that. And I know that maybe it's a little unrealistic in the sense that I think for the most part, farmers and stuff store their bulk materials or their materials in bale form, either round or square. But since we have the ability to do it, and since this is more, the challenge is more geared towards just enduring the 24 game day seasons and having fun at the same time. Obviously there will be other maps that I'll be playing that obviously will have the ability to do baling that won't have the bulk storage. So it's the way I kind of look at it is, I might want to take advantage of the fact that we've got the bulk storage capability here without having to add a mod or something like that in. Go ahead and store it like that. I know that it can be stored like this in real life. I guess what I'm saying is I recognize the fact that it's probably less common to store materials in bulk fashion in a silo versus in baled fashion. At least that's kind of my observation of things. But again, kind of since we have it, then might as well kind of do it that way. But then again, I may sort of break with that idea, and I may say, well, for the sake of having something different to do, maybe we'll do some baling. Maybe we will do some baling of hay. Maybe we'll do hay bales instead of picking it up loose. I don't know. We'll just see whenever we get to that point. Obviously, we've got a lot of time to make those kind of decisions and to figure out what it is that we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and basically then execute. The Big M obviously is a mowing machine. This thing is just fantastic. Of course, this was a favorite of mine back in the FS15 days. I used the Big M on most of my maps. Back then, the Big M, there's a giant's bug that basically prevents the Big M from doing the wide grass spreading distribution or whatever, however you want to reference that. Basically, the ability for it to do a wide spread on the grass, which is probably a little more realistic, especially when you're coming around and gonna tether that for hay purposes. But there's an issue, something with giants that came out in the 1.44 update, I believe, that sort of rendered that a problem, and so they've disabled it. And for those viewers that may have been around when I was setting up maybe it was the Pine Cove Farm map for the multiplayer server that I had for a little while. Well, I still have it actually. It's not active right now at the moment, as we're trying to figure out what we're going to do to replace it as I go behind the magic curtain here. You might remember that I turned it on. I switched that feature on so it would do the widespread, and it created this huge mound of grass. So that's actually the issue, or that's the symptoms of the issue. So hopefully that's going to get fixed. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't cause problems when you use like a regular tractor with a butterfly mower on the back and maybe the front mower on the front. It doesn't seem to have the problem. So we've got almost 100,000 liters. We'll turn this off, pick up the pickup, and then we'll fold up the Big M. But we've got almost 100,000 liters off this, about 96,000 liters that we've pulled off this field. So not too bad. I mean, obviously not much to write home about, Certainly not much to brag about, but still, that's almost 100,000 liters, or 96,000 liters to be exact, that we didn't have before we started this. So it's been a productive morning to get this done as we drive through here. But yeah, the Big M was something that was a favorite of mine, and of course, my friend Duck Zorley, one of the Three Dudes guys, and obviously a member of PCSG as well. He has taken the whole grass mowing, especially with the Big M, to a completely different level, a level that I would never have, I don't think, imagined for myself. And he was sharing with us over in PCSG, I think it was just a few days ago, that he on a map save that he had, and I don't think it was the 24. He is doing the 24 game day challenge, but I don't think it was on that particular map save. But he had something like 1,000 bells that disappeared, completely disappeared on him for some unknown reason. Don't know what happened, but anyway, so that is done. So let's go ahead and we'll head this back to the main farm, and we'll drop this off. And because again, I don't know when it's going to rain. Maybe it won't rain until later, hopefully. But I'm just a bit gun shy on doing too much grass work, because I don't want to necessarily lose it. I suppose we could consider cutting field number 1 in the same method that we did this. Let's see, can we get to field number 1? No, we can't get to field number 1 that way, because I've left the tipper and the tractor parked there. Let's see if we can get to field number 1. Maybe we will go ahead and cut this in the same fashion that we did. Yeah, it's right over here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. And I tell you what we'll do with this grass. We'll still leave it as grass, but we will put it in the mixing station. That's what we'll do with that. So let's go ahead and unfold. I'll get this unfolded and I'll be right back. All right, and we're off again. So we'll cut this. This is a small field. This field is probably even too small for the Big M. I think probably, well, Doug Zorley would probably argue with me, and he would probably say there's no field that is too small for the Big M. Basically, any blade of grass is worthy of the Big M cutting it. And I would probably have to agree with him on it, just simply because this is one fantastic machine. You can get this machine, by the way, it is a mod. And you can get this through the GTX modding website, and you can find a link to this mod by visiting my mod spreadsheet, which is at grizzlybearsims.com. Again, that's grizzlybearsims.com. You'll see a link at the top of the page that says something to the effect of add-on and mod directory. If you click on that link, that will take you to a Google spreadsheet, a Google document spreadsheet to be exact. And I've got all my mods there, so just look down at the bottom of the spreadsheet and you will see tabs for each of the simulation-based games that I play that basically have mods associated with them, and I will have links to the various mods that I do enjoy and I do play. Gotta stop here and just point out one thing. Look at that crooked tree there. Fantastic, Stevie. Thank you for putting things like that into the map, because obviously in the real world, whether it be a farm map or just in the forest or whatever the case might be, things are not perfect. Mother Nature, trees grow leaning. That one looks like it's actually dead and probably needs to be cut and taken out of there. So maybe that's a project for us if we want to do that at a later date. But just the attention to detail that guys like Stevie put into their maps is just so incredible. I'm just so appreciative of of having such beautiful detailed maps, things that things that you would see if you were to get out into the real world, and take a look at things like that. Look at it. I mean, it's a dead tree. Maybe it's had some of the beetle infestation that obviously is apparent here in Colorado. I think I've talked about that before, maybe in the other challenge map when I was cutting all those trees. But yeah, it's nice to have some variety in the types of things that we don't necessarily interact with every single day, but that we see. That's part of the eye candy. That's part of the just the ambiance, if you will. Skies are clear, so I don't know if that's, I mean, playing at 15x speed, unfortunately, it can go from a bright, clear, sunny day to rain in just a split second. So unlike, you know, when you're playing at slower speeds or just kind of in the real world, you can kind of see that storm, you know, moving in. You can see the clouds moving in from a distance or whatever. Playing at 15x speed, if you don't keep your eyes peeled, things can change rather quick. It can go from, you know, bright sunny to rain, or bright sunny to snow if it's in the winter, pretty quick. But maybe we'll get this done. And again, that's getting both of these fields done. So I think most likely, if we do cut grass again, if we do it during an episode, we'll go ahead and tether it, and may do like a pull the tether behind the big M, and then do a tractor with the forage wagon on follow me, and get that other field down there cut. So I guess all total, coming out of here, we're going to have you know, probably a little over 150,000 liters of grass that we've collected today. So not a bad day, not a bad day's worth of work at all. I would like to be able to squeeze all of this onto this forage wagon, 92%. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. I think maybe, well, I don't know, maybe we'll be lucky and we can get it all on here. That would be nice. That way we don't have to come back over for just you know, a couple of hundred blades of grass. I think we might do it. I think we might just do it. We just have this small piece here that we need to cut. Yep, so there we go. Awesome, awesome sauce. All right, so let's go ahead and get this guy folded up, and then we will shut off our forage wagon, and then we will get ready to move this down to back to the cow shed. And what we'll do, what I plan to do, is we'll dump this into the mixing station, because I think it was kind of low on grass. Of course, we can put hay or grass into the mixing station, doesn't matter, but I think just for the simple fact that this is what we've got, we've already got it in the mixing wagon. This will save me from having to transfer more down in bulk from our silos down here. And we'll go ahead and dump this off. And then we've got one more task to do that will be part of this episode, and then I will obviously continue out the game day off camera. We can back this in here correctly. There we go. Dump this into our mixing station. And then we're going to do just one more little task, one more little small task. You might remember in one of the previous episodes, I think it was episode number 5, we got the Seed Masters started up. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to check out and see how we basically move that over to bulk, and just kind of show you guys that. We've got some, I think we've got different opportunities as far as storing bulk seeds go. I think we're going to investigate that together as soon as we get the big M back to the main farm. So I tell you what, I'm going to do an edit here, and I will come right back with you after we get this stuff parked up. All right, back at you. So I think we could store seeds here if we wanted to. Now, of course, if we store seeds here in this grain silo, I believe we would have to, we could not fill our seeders directly. We would have to have an overloader tipper, and I'm not opposed to buying that, and maybe that is something that we will consider doing. But I think we can move our seeds from over here in our orange seed masters, I believe we can move those. I believe we can move those to these other storage tanks where I believe we can basically, we've got, see that orange tank there? I'm thinking that's seeds for storage. I think we can dump our seeds over there into that and then fill our seeders directly from that pipe, I think. We'll see. Time is going to tell. Let me give you the word of the day. The word of today is Big M. Big M is the word of today for episode number 8, Big M. So get that sent in to me. If you're new to my channel or new to these videos and you don't know what in the world I'm talking about as far as the word of the day and the code word and all that kind of stuff, basically I am giving away 3 copies of the Platinum Giants Farm Sim 17 Platinum DLC Expansion Pack. This is the one that I'm sure you guys have heard about. It's much anticipated. I'm excited about it. I hope you are as well. And yeah, I think we can just dump it right in here. I don't know. I could be wrong, so we'll find out if this is how you do this or not. And it looks like it is. Okay. And it's not selling. We're not selling anything, so I'm assuming that it's going into this tank, and then we can fill up our seeder from over here. So anyway, yeah, it says produce seeds. So yeah, Farm Sim 17 Giants Platinum Expansion DLC. This is the DLC pack that basically takes Farm Sim 17 to South America, introduces a new crop type of sugarcane, and so yeah, so cool stuff. And that's what it's about, and I'm giving away 3 copies of that DLC. I'm going to go ahead and empty the rest of this out, and we'll see what the other one has in it. I'm giving away 3 copies of that DLC. Now the DLC releases in the mid portion of November, around the 14th, I believe, is when the DLC comes out. I will be doing the drawing on Sunday. It's either the 5th or 6th of November. And the way that you enter the drawing is if you go over to my Discord channel, and there's a link down below the video of how you get over to my Discord channel. You go over there, and there's instructions on how you email me the code word of the day. Emailing me the code word of the day just basically tells me that you've watched the episode. I figure that's fair. If I'm going to give away 3 copies of the DLC from my hard-earned YouTube money, basically you should have to do your part, and that is watch the video to get the code word of the day out of it. You email that to me, I enter your name into a spreadsheet, and then basically you can enter once per episode. So the more you watch and the more you enter, the better chance you obviously will have of winning the prize or one of the prizes. You also must be a subscriber of my YouTube channel, so please hit the subscribe button if you're interested in entering the contest. And then I will do the drawing. Like I said, I will do the drawing in early November. So I will award the winners before the DLC actually comes out. I will pre-purchase that and send you the code via Steam. It will be a Steam giveaway, so it's going to have to be for PC. You're going to have to already own Farm Sim 17 and all that stuff. So this will just be the add-on pack and not the full Platinum edition of Farm Sim 17. It's just going to be the add-on. And yeah, so good luck. I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. I'm certainly going to enjoy it. Obviously, I will be buying my own copy of that DLC expansion pack, and I'm really looking forward to getting that and experiencing sugarcane, experiencing the new map and the new equipment and everything that will obviously go along with the whole process of harvesting sugarcane. I'm not sure exactly what all that is. I've never seen sugarcane harvested before, but we will figure all that out and learn about it together, I'm sure. And of course, I will be featuring that on the channel. I don't know if I will play the new map in its entirety, but obviously I will most likely show it to you, and obviously we will plant some sugarcane on whatever map we're playing if it's available to do that. we'll have some fun with the new stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode number 8. And not sure what we'll do in the next episode. Not even sure if you'll actually see the next game day. It might be that there's not enough really to do, and I may just go ahead and do some of that stuff off camera, like take care of the animals, fill up the compost plant, and stuff like that. But whenever our soil temperature comes up, and I believe it's come up 2 degrees since the previous game day, or at least I think it has. I could be wrong. I'm thinking it was about 37 degrees, I think. But anyway, if it comes up and we can get to some other work, some other stuff that we can do, I'm going to go ahead and shut this gate over here. Then obviously I will come back right back to you, and we will do some of that work. So obviously we will plant whatever crop we choose to start with. Most likely it will be wheat. We will do that, and we will do that together the first opportunity that we have to be able to do that. So thank you again for watching. I do appreciate that. Take good care of yourself and each other, of course. Please continue to keep the good folks down in the Gulf Coast region of Texas and Louisiana in your thoughts and in your prayers. They're going to need that for such a long time to go before everything is back to normal. And I appreciate you being friends here of the channel. I appreciate you commenting, liking, and interacting with me, whether it be over on 3 Dudes Gaming Network, PCSG, or even on my Discord server, my Discord channel, which I try to hang out on during the day. I'm pretty much only chat only during the day. Sometimes on the weekends I might be there with voice, but pretty much it's chat only during the work week, so that I can continue to do my job. But I've got it pulled up there, and if you've got a question or something, I just usually tell people, go ahead and ask your question of me, and send me a private message, or just ask your question in the Discord chat, and I'll see that, and I'll get to it and answer it best I can. So again, thank you for watching, and take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time here on Snetterton Farm. Take care. Bye-bye.